Do you ever wonder how high achievers just get things done? Stay tuned. In this video, I am going to show you how to prioritize your life so that by the end of the day, you feel on top of the world. To learn the best ways to up-level your skills as an entrepreneur, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that you can be notified when a new video is up every Tuesday. How does a mom of 3 with a 1-year-old run 2 companies, start a YouTube channel, and write her 4th book? Well, that's me, and I have definitely mastered on working on the things that really matter. It isn't about just being busy and getting a lot of things done in your day. There are particular activities that are your sweet spot. So let's identify your sweet spots and master the priority matrix. Let's take a look at the priority matrix. Now, if you see this image here, you will see that at the top, there's urgent and not urgent. And then on the left, important and not important. So it's safe to say on the bottom right, we're definitely going to eliminate the things that are not important, not urgent, as well as delegate the things that are not important, but urgent. So let's understand the top tier here. In the top tier, you have urgent and important. You got to do it today. These are our fires that we put out all the day long. If you are someone who feels like you're constantly extinguishing little emergencies, little fires, that's where you are living. Now, on the top right corner, this here is the sweet spot. So this is the not urgent. It's not urgent. Doesn't have to be done right this second, but very important. Unfortunately, what happens is most people take this corner here of the not urgent but important and end up putting it on the back burner. So my goal today is to help you identify what really is urgent in your life and what really is important in your life. Because here's the thing, if you don't know how to classify a situation, a task, a problem, if you don't know how to classify it as important, not important, or you don't know how to classify it as urgent or not urgent, then you're already messing up this entire matrix. So first things first, we must get clear on what really is urgent and what really is important. Step 1, identify what's actually important. I know, I hear you. You're probably thinking, well, that's important. All this stuff is so important. How could I not attend to these matters? Well, I'm going to make this proposition here that some of the things that you think are so important, you can't imagine not completing or doing, may not really be important. Some of us get a little bit cluttered in our thinking, and people have pulled us in this direction and that direction and want you to think that something's important. I understand. I get pulled in many directions myself. Now, in order for me to get clear, to connect with myself and be able to understand objectively what really is important in my life, I love using citronella essential oil. So I will diffuse citronella at the beginning of a day sometimes, especially when I feel like my to-do list is crazy long, like today, it's crazy long. I start off with citronella so that I know what is most important just comes up to the surface of my mind, like ding, that's the thing I gotta attend to. It's the most important thing. Citronella just has this way of starting to delete the non-important. Just delete, delete, so that it's not even within your field and you're not thinking about it or distracted by it or consumed by it. It just, in a way, like erases, that's not important, and you just free up so much brain space and emotional space to just focus on what's most important. Step 2, identify what is actually urgent. So in step 1, we clarified what's most important. So let's say you had 8 things on your list that you thought were important. You used citronella, and out of the 8, about 4 of them get erased because they're really not important. Okay, sometimes our ego makes us think something's important when it really isn't. It's not going to up-level us. It's not going to expand us. It's not going to yield a lot of fruit. So now that you narrowed down from 8 to 4, as an example, then it's time to prioritize those 4 in what is most urgent, what is most pressing that you attend to. So this is where coriander comes to play. Coriander is wonderful. I love to mix it with some lavender and some lemon, about 2 drops each, coriander, lavender, and lemon. This helps me to take those 4 items on my list and organize them in order of urgency, because then you'll know where to place those tasks or projects or items within your day. I'm going to give a little side note here. When it comes to organizing those important and urgent, right, in your day, then I look for times in my day where I have peak energy, peak focus, peak flow, where things are rolling. I don't start major, urgent, and important tasks at the very beginning of my day because I need about an hour and a half to start to wake up and do my morning rituals and find a little bit of ground before I go ahead and start working on these things. So whatever is most important, most urgent, I go ahead and put that in my sweet spot where I function the best within my day. Do you sometimes feel like a fire extinguisher and you're just putting out fires all the day long? If you're in that emergency mode, fight or flight, like hurry up, gotta do it now, please comment below. Let me know if that's you. And try out these really simple, awesome essential oils to break you out of that pattern. Okay, now step 3. This is the secret sauce. We're going to move what is not urgent, what you would categorize as important and not urgent, right? What you would categorize as important and not urgent, and I make that super urgent, okay? Super urgent. Yes, there are some level of, fires you've got to put out. However, the trick is to not get caught in that loop of emergency mode, to not go down that rabbit hole your entire day. This right here is the problem. The problem is that people think everything is important and urgent. So this is why in step 1 and step 2, you want to make sure you are accurately identifying and categorizing what is urgent, what is important. So I make sure that my not urgent but important things, I make very urgent. I schedule at least 2 hours in a day, minimum 2 hours. We're not even talking a 10-hour day, right? 2 hours somewhere. Sometimes it's all at once, sometimes it's split up, but I make sure that 2 hours of my day I am devoted to what would be technically categorized as the important but not urgent. But it's just, you want to instill a major sense of urgency to what you could actually put off next week. You could put off in a few days. What's really cool about focusing on the so-called important, not urgent, yet making that urgent, right, is that it actually gets you in the best flow, because that's the stuff you really do want to do, right? That's the juicy stuff, and you get into great flow. So I start my day working on that category first, and then it's so much easier and faster to put all those fires out. Much easier, because you're already in this flow state and you are able to check off numerous things that seem impossible to another person, because it's just easy. You start with being in flow because you're working on the stuff that matters most to you in your life, that matters most to your soul, and then all the other stuff, easy. What would take you an hour to complete one of those fires that you got to put out, you could do in 15 minutes because you're in flow state. So I encourage you to prioritize and schedule daily your non-urgent but important section of the priority matrix. Also, if you would like to join a like-minded community of creative entrepreneurs just like you, then join our Facebook group community. It is called Fabulous and Free with Desiree Mangendog. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe and share with your friends. And check out my other videos on the law of resonance and removing negative thoughts. Those are super practical and effective. All right, see you in the next video.